Top of the morning. I want to salute everyone across the country who is currently engaged in sanctioning these outsiders who come into our communities and exploit and violate us. Here in LA, that has been practiced also, but I also want to show a few examples of how both grand closing these outsiders open up opportunities both for jobs and for business ownership in our communities. 2004, myself, a sister I was with, and her two children came here to what used to be a Louisiana Chicken, and because of a language barrier, the frustration between us and the woman who was serving us resulted in the woman calling us some niggers. So we immediately threw the food over the bulletproof window. We then engaged in a 2-week grand closing that did result in them temporarily hiring a young black woman. But in addition, there was a Goldenberg Chicken located behind the mall, the Crenshaw Mall that's right across the street. And we talked to them, and they agreed that they would give a discount to anyone who received a flyer we would give them here at this location to instead go to their location. And so that did help, another black business, and it resulted in an immediate job. December 30th, 2006, our brother Painter Bill, rest in power, got into a racial incident with some of the Latino employees at the Wiener Schnitzel after he came over to the park right here where a lot of us would meet in the morning, have our little breakfast club, and was explaining to us what happened. LA County Sheriff Deputy Felmer came and threatened to take Painter Bill to jail. So Faison decided he wanted to come confront the employees. I came with him. As he got over here, he was talking to the customers in front of the store. I went to what used to be the Quiznos right there at the what is now the Jamaican restaurant, and was speaking to the owner who owned the Quiznos and the Wiener Schnitzel, and they own this entire lot. After we went back to the park, Deputy Felmer returned and arrested myself and Faison. He told us as he was bringing us back over here to this lot, he was going to figure out what the charges with. Initially, it was attempted robbery and a number of other charges. Once we got to jail, FBI agent came and said he was also going to charge us with a hate crime. Fortunately, when we went to the preliminary trial, the employees stated that they didn't recognize me as I went to the Quiznos, and I was released. After I was released, I began what became a 2-month boycott of this establishment in hopes to get the employees to come correct and share that the terrorist threats that Faison was being charged with were not correct. Unfortunately, Faison was found guilty. Initially, the judge threatened him with 60 years, but gave him 30 years. Faison has been in prison for 19 and a half years now as a result of that incident. But what did come of the grand closing we held, the owners eventually had to sell the Wiener Schnitzel at first. They sold the Quiznos, and then they sold the entire lot. Initially, the Quiznos had become a Mexican restaurant, and then it became a Jamaican restaurant, and is now a second Jamaican restaurant. So that did open opportunity for business ownership and employment. In 2011, we began what became our longest economic sanction in the community against Walmart. Initially, in the formation of our organization, Blacks in 365, we identified that we both needed to create more businesses and jobs in our community to better promote them, but also we had to find ways to get our people unaddicted to a lot of the corporate interests in our community. Not long after the Occupy movement spread from Occupy Wall Street to Occupy LA, we then brought it over to Occupy Crenshaw. And initially we created a daily calendar of different businesses we would boycott each day. One day it would be Walmart, one day it would be ExxonMobil, one day it would be McDonald's, but we would do that daily. And then the following year, we got information on how much money we spend during Black Friday. So we started to focus more solely on Walmart, and we also created a blacklist of a number of businesses throughout our communities in an effort to get people to instead go to those businesses, but also work with some of those businesses to provide discounts for people who would come to their establishments. And then gradually over the years, more information just came out about how dirty Walmart is, from their investment in the prison enslavement of our people, to the toxic treatment of their employees. We met a number of employees here who were not satisfied. 1 year, we were able to work with a national movement of employees who went on strike. But after about 4 years, at one point, a number of their investors began to divest from Walmart. One day, they lost $40 million in a day. And a few months after that, they finally announced that they would be closing over 100 locations, and this location here on Crenshaw happened to be one of them. Now, before Walmart even opened, there were a number of black businesses in the area that went out of business because they could not compete. However, after Walmart closed, we did find some of those discount store type businesses come back. We again have two right here across the street on Crenshaw that are now operating. But that shows again how engaging in grand closings can remove some of the more predatory interests and open up opportunity for our own.